Okay, in this video, we're going to cover inelastic collisions. Now, yesterday we talked about elastic collisions, and that's when objects, um, when they collide, they the momentum of the final momentum equals the initial momentum of the objects, but they have different velocities. They do not stick together. Now, in inelastic collisions, as you know by now, the problem will tell you that two colliding objects stick together, they lock together, or combine to form one mass. Therefore, on the right side of your conservation momentum equation, simply add the two masses of the system. The two masses are now considered one, and both masses will move with the same final velocity. So that's the difference in elastic and inelastic collisions. The equation is going to be the same form that we talked about yesterday. However, we're going to change the right side of the equation. So the things still stand for the same. Now, if we look at what happens in an collision, if we look at this simulation here, you're going to have an octagon moving, an 8.24 kilogram octagon moving at 2 meters per second, collides and sticks to a 5.40 kilogram square moving at negative 0.75 meters per second. Now remember, if something is moving to the left or is moving west, we consider that velocity to be negative. And it's very important we use those signs right, or otherwise we'll get the problem wrong for what we're solving for. So when these two objects meet, they're both moving. When they collide, they stick together, and if you notice, their final velocity is going to be the same. They still obey the law of conservation of momentum, which says that the total momentum before the collision equals the total momentum of the objects after the collision. So we look, the equation is going to look like this right here. The left side of the equation is the same. M1, V1I, where M1 is your mass of the first object, V1I is your initial velocity of the first object, and then plus M2. M2 is the mass of the second object, V2I is the initial velocity of the second object. The right side of the equation looks different though. We have M1 plus M2, which is mass 1 plus mass 2, and then our final velocity is just 1, it's just VF, because they're going to be moving with the same final velocity. And remember, the final combined mass will only have one final velocity. So if we look at our first example problem, and remember we're going to, it's best to draw a diagram if you choose to keep your numbers where you won't mess up with those. We're going to use the guess method to solve this, where we write down our givens, our unknown, our equation, and then we substitute and solve. So in our problem says, in a game of pickup football, James, with a mass of 80 kilograms, moves at a velocity of 6 meters per second east and tackles Jack with a mass of 75 kilograms, who is moving with a velocity of 5 meters per second east. Remember, if we're not given a direction, if we're not said east or west or to the left, we're going to consider the velocities to be positive, like they're always moving east. But most of the time we'll be given a direction. It says, after the tackle, both players lock together and move as one mass. That ought to tell you right then this is an inelastic collision. When we work problems that are mixed, I won't tell you that, so you'll have to be paying attention to see if it's what equation to use, if it's elastic or inelastic. And it says to determine the final velocity of the system. So James, I'm going to label James as being my first mass, so that M1, and I'm going to label Jack to be M2. And I can draw these before the collision, so this is going to be the initial conditions here. First person here is James. He has a mass of 80 kilograms. And he's moving at 6 meters per second east. So that's going to be positive 6 meters per second. So he's moving this way. And then we have our second person here, which is Jack. I'm going to label him, he's M2. He has a mass of 75 kilograms. And he's moving 5 meters per second east. So that's positive. So he's moving that direction also. We draw our final conditions. Well, after the collision, they're going to, they're going to lock together. And their masses we will add together. We have 80 kilograms for the first one, 75 kilograms for the second, and we do not know their final velocity. That's what we're asked to solve. So I'm going to write down my givens in the problem. And my M1 is James. He's going to have mass of 80 kilograms. His initial velocity, which is v1I, is positive 6 meters per second. M2 is going to be Jack. His mass is 75 kilograms. And he's moving at positive. His v2I, his initial velocity, is going to be positive 5 meters per second. And then we're looking for VF, that is our unknown. Okay, our next step is to write our equation. We write it's M1 V1I plus M2 V2I equals M1 plus M2 times our final velocity. Now our steps are to substitute and solve. So I'll plug in my numbers. M1 is 80 times V1I, which is 6, plus M2 is 75 times V2I, which is 5, equals M1 plus M2, so that would be 80 plus 75 times my unknown, which is VF. Now we're just going to use algebra to solve for this. I need my calculator. I have 80 times 6 equals 480 plus 75 times 5 which equals 375 equals 80 plus 75 equals 155 times VF. Then I'm going to take 480 plus 375 equals 855. And that equals 155 VF. Divide both sides by 155 to give me my answer. My answer is going to be 5.516. I can round to 2 decimal places, and that will give me 5.52 meters per second since I'm solving for velocity. And it'd be positive. So they're going to move off to the right at 5.52 meters per second once they lock together. Okay, our next example problem. And most of the time when you're working solving these, you're going to solve for final velocity, but sometimes you'll solve for an initial velocity. Alright, now our next problem. It says a 2.0 kilogram cart moving due east at 6 meters per second collides with a 3.0 kilogram cart moving due west. The carts stick together and come to rest after the collision. Determine the initial speed of the 3.0 kilogram cart. Alright, so I'm going to pick what's going to be M1 and M2. M1, I'm going to say, is the first object there. It's a 2.0 kilogram cart That's my M1. My M2 is going to be the 3.0 kilogram cart. So I'm going to draw my initial momentums, and I have this cart. It is 2.0 kilograms. It's moving due east at 6 meters per second, so it's moving that way. My second cart is 3.0 kilograms. And it says it's moving due west, but it doesn't give me a speed. And it's actually, I'm going to be solving for the initial speed of it. So I'm going to be solving for V2I, initial velocity of the second object. Okay, after the collision, they're going to stick together. The two carts, and I know their masses. This one's 2.0 kilograms. That one's 3.0 kilograms. And it says that these carts stick together and come to a rest. So it's telling me that my final velocity is equal to 0 in this case, 0 meters per second. Next, I'm going to write down my givens. So I know that my M1 is 2.0 kilograms. And V1I is moving at positive 6 meters per second. The next one is moving, M2 is equal to 3.0 kilograms. And I'm going to be solving for V2I. That's my unknown. And the only other variable is my final velocity, and it's going to equal 0. Next, I need my equation. M1 V1I plus M2 V2I equals M1 plus M2 times VF. Now, if you notice, VF in this case is going to be 0. If that equals 0, this whole side of the equation is going to equal 0, which is going to shorten it up for me. So now when I plug in my numbers for M1, 2.0 times V1I, which is 6, plus M2, which is 3.0. I'm looking for V2I, that's my unknown. And all that on the right side of the equation is going to equal 0. So then when I plug this in, 2.0 times 6 is going to be 12.0 plus 3.0 times V2I equals 0. Now I need to get V2I by itself, and the way to do that would be to move the 12.0 over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract both sides by 12.0. So I'm going to equal, that's going to equal 3.0 V2I equals negative 12.0. Once I get to this, I divide both sides by 3.0 to solve for V2I. Negative 12.0 divided by 3.0, my answer would be negative 4.0 meters per second. Now that negative just tells me it's moving west, and in the problem it told me that it was going to be moving due west. So I should have got a negative velocity, and I did when I solved for this. So after they stick together, they'll be moving west 4.0 meters per second. Now I would encourage you to always draw the diagram, because it really helps keep your, what is your initial conditions, your V1I and your V2I. And it'll really help you if you draw that. It's not necessary. You can work it without it, but you have to be very careful and always make sure that you have your signs right for your velocities. Okay, our last example problem. Says a 4,000 kilogram truck moving at 40 meters per second due east collides and locks up with a 3,000 kilogram car moving at 60 meters per second due west. Determine the final velocity of the combined mass. Okay, I want to label what is my M1 and M2. I'm going to say my truck is going to be my M1, and I'm going to say my car is my M2. And draw my diagram for my initial conditions before the collision. I have a truck here moving due east. It's moving this way. It has a mass of 4,000 kilograms moving due east, so that's positive 40 meters per second. And then it has a car that is moving due west, so it's moving towards it 60 meters per second, and it's a 3,000 kilogram car, and its velocity is going to be negative 60 meters per second. After the collision, they're going to lock up, and then I know after they stick together, the first mass is 4,000 kilograms. The M2 is 3,000 kilograms. And their final velocity is what I'm going to be looking for. Now I'm going to write down my givens. My M1 is 4,000 kilograms. My V1I is positive 40 meters per second. My M2 is equal to 3,000 kilograms. And V2I, its initial velocity, is negative 60 meters per second. And then the only other variable is VF, and that's my unknown. So next I'm